G'day guys, welcome back to Dougmo Knows. Back with Craig again. Thanks for being here, mate.
No worries, mate.
We are going to do a little new segment called You Like This Video Before We Get Started and subscribe to the channel. And we are going to read the news from the greatest aggregator of news in Australia, news.com.au. Always bringing the goods. We're just going to go through and comment on some of the stories on their front page today that we found interesting. So the first one, America's proof COVID-19 leaked from a Wuhan lab. And in other news, the sky is still blue and the grass is green. But let's see what they've got to say. So I thought we knew this 12 months ago, but the US claims it has explosive new evidence that proves COVID-19 leaked from a Wuhan research lab. New documents reveal scientists in Wuhan fell ill with COVID-like symptoms in late 2019 before the pandemic began to ravage the world. Again, I thought this was well known, but now US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has demanded the World Health Organization launch an investigation into the possibility that COVID was an accidental lab leak.
Wasn't that already?
Anyway, accusations of a cover-up by the Chinese government. Surprise, surprise. The communist Chinese government would be covering something up. Obviously, that can't be true. We love China. Accusations of a cover-up by the Chinese government have been repeatedly dismissed, and pressure for a full investigation into the lab suspected of being the source of coronavirus have so far been resisted. But the US has always insisted China is to blame, with Donald Trump vowing to declassify bombshell secret intelligence linking the virus to their science facility. I don't, go for it, declassify it, but thought, all the first cases were there.
Yeah.
And then they started popping up in other places. But I don't know, I'm not a virologist.
It's
so.
almost like this was accidentally not posted 12 months ago.
Mr. Pompeo revealed new studies from the US intelligence claim that the scientists at the Wuhan Institute of Virology fell ill in the autumn of 2019. I hope they didn't spend too much on this study. Earlier than previously believed, with symptoms consistent with COVID. This raises questions about the credibility of Wuhan Institute of Virology. Senior researchers public claim that there was zero infection among their staff, students of SARS-CoV-2 or SARS-related viruses, Pompeo said. Again, that is shocking. China would be lying about this. It comes after the government officials said the most credible theory around the origin of the coronavirus is that it escaped from the Wuhan lab. Yeah, so I don't know what you reckon. We keep reading, or I think this is all pretty well known stuff. Yeah. Good on you, like Trump and Pompeo and the US intelligence community. Hopefully they haven't wasted too much money coming up with this report. But if they want to declassify some bombshell information, that'd be great. And they can tell us what everyone already knew.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next story. Bow Wow. Bow Wow's slammed over a packed club performance during COVID-19 pandemic. So just from the title, I do not give a flying fuck.
Yeah.
If you want to have a concert, the lockdowns are a joke. If people want to risk it for the biscuit or the Bow Wow concert, that's their right. If you get sick and die, then that's on you, brother.
Yep.
So anyway, let's see what, where's this from? News.com original story, so it will be good. Shad Bow Wow Moss is being called to the carpet after footage from a Houston club performance went viral on Saturday. The 33-year-old is seen performing his 2005 hit Like You in a packed club where most patrons are not wearing face masks. Again, whatever. If you want to go to a packed club and not wear a face mask, I think you're aware of what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
The move, again, not telling anyone what to do about the virus. Follow your government authorities' advice, because they obviously just want to keep you safe. The move led social media to question both the artist and his fans who choose to risk their health for one night out. Again, do whatever you want. If you're risking your health, you can do that for fucking any reason you choose. Fans claim there were other celebrities in attendance, but it seems the rapper and growing up hip hop star is receiving the brunt of the backlash. All right, let's just stop there. Fuck, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, Power can hold it. The club's chosen to host him. He's chosen to do the performance, and everyone there, I'm assuming, are adults and they're willing participants. So congratulations, news.com.
There's like one quote there which is like, wow, how are we ever going to live through this pandemic if people keep doing this? Fucking easily. Like without probably as many problems as what people think.
Yeah. That's what they're doing, is living through the pandemic. Like, they're living with it. Or we'd all just lock ourselves in our homes forever and die, and then what's really the point of surviving anyway if you're just going to lock yourself in your home until this blows over. Anyway, good on you, Bow Wow. Power to you, mate. All right. Dr. Zach Turner reveals a trick that helped Rebecca Gibney lose weight. Welcome to Ask Dr. Zach, a weekly column from news.com. This week, Dr. Zach Turner looks at the best way to lose 10 kilos. So, let's just read what he has to say, but I reckon might have something to do with eat less and burn off more calories. So question, hi Dr. Zach, last year I put on 10 kilograms. In 2021, my goal is to lose that weight and more, but I'm struggling to find the right way of going about it. There's much advice, it's hard to decipher. Can you explain to me why I put on the weight, and what's your best advice for someone who wants to lose it? Right, not going to comment. Let's see what Dr. Zach has to say. Hi, Happy New Year. It's safe to say 2020 definitely left us all with some extra baggage. And you shouldn't be ashamed of yourself at all. This is the most 2020 opening line to this answer. Anyway, the first step to ensuring healthy weight loss is to build a strong sense of body positivity and recognize that you are beautiful. You're trying to be your best and let your beauty shine. Leave all the negativity behind in 2020. This year is about health and wellness. I just want to say you can be overweight and beautiful. I'm not actually denying that. But if someone doesn't find you like as beautiful as someone who's skinnier, like that's a personal choice. There's people that are into bigger people, whatever. But objectively, like if you're obese, you're not as healthy as you could be.
Yeah, exactly.
That doesn't mean that you're not beautiful, you're not attractive, or you don't have anything going for you. And yeah, I guess like, you know, if you're trying to help someone lose weight, you know, you don't have to completely fucking tear them down. But the whole thing, and this is like walking the line pretty well. But this whole thing about like people of every size are healthy is a joke, to be honest. Like they can be beautiful or attractive, because that's subjective. But if you, if you're telling someone who is grossly overweight not to do anything about it because they're beautiful, that's like telling an alcoholic not to stop drinking because they're fun, or a drug addict, like, you know, not to stop doing drugs because they're fun when they're high. You're not helping them.
Exactly.
Like that, they can still be fun and functional, but like objectively it would be better for their health if they stop that behaviour.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, Dr. Zach, I'm often asked why people put on weight, and it's really quite simple. The majority of people, those without underlying health conditions, put on weight because they eat and drink more calories than they burn in everyday movement of bodily functions. Your body will store these extra calories that you don't burn off as fat. As you begin this weight loss journey, I guarantee you will hear the phrase calorie deficit. This is when you eat less calories than you burn off. The idea being that your body uses your fat stores as energy rather than the food you consume. The efficient method to keep weight loss consistent is to remain in a calorie deficit. Let's stop there. I called it.
Yeah.
Good on you, Dr. Zach.
Only took him 2 paragraphs too.
Yeah, if you want to, again, we've been over it all. You can be attractive to people and you'd have lots going for you if you're overweight. But if you want to lose weight, like that's not something people should give you a hard time for about either. Like we see with, what's that, Big Lizzie and Adele.
Yeah.
Like people, like they were bigger girls and they like, obviously people still liked them when they were bigger.
Yeah.
But when people fucking turn on them and like attack them because they come out and say, oh, like I want to be healthier.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
you don't have to, like if you want to be happy being fat, you don't have to like make other people want to be fat so you feel better about yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, good on you, Dr. Zach. If you want to lose weight, get in a calorie deficit and remain in a calorie deficit consistently, and yes, your body will burn off your fat stores for energy. All right. The honeypot being used to catch Trump supporters. So Bumble, what the... so Bumble, a dating app. So headline, Bumble removes political preference filter after Capitol riot honeypot scheme. Women in the US are apparently using dating apps to track down insurrectionists who stormed the Capitol building last week to report them to the FBI.
Oh my god.
The self-reported tactics have already prompted one dating app to change its policies. Bumble has removed the political preference filter temporarily, but claims it's searching for Capitol rioters on the app and reporting them to authorities. What the fuck? I don't know what their political preference options are on this app, but if you've got an option to tick I stormed the Capitol building, it's a fucking weird thing to have on a dating app anyway. But this story is ridiculous and I love it. So it's a quote, how the fuck is reporting insurrectionists misuse of Bumble, one Twitter user asked. Oh, yeah, you're there to find... Yeah,
you perhaps
anyway, there might be other insurrectionists looking for love. Rest assured that we prohibit any content that promotes terrorism or racial hatred. Which I don't think that whole thing was racially motivated, but that's anyway. And we've already removed any users that have been confirmed as participants in the attack on the US Capitol, the company replied. Bumble ordinarily allows people to give their political preference, choose between conservative and liberal. Alright, so this I have a fucking problem with. Why, right, not everyone who identifies as a conservative stormed the Capitol building.
Yeah, exactly.
This is weird.
Yeah.
In the US, women have reported friends of friends using the filter to track down people who stormed the Capitol, or were at least willing to lie about it to try to impress them. Oh man, this is so weird.
That's fucking...
I know a friend of mine who changed her preference on Bumble to conservative. She's matching with MAGA bros, and they're bragging and sending her pics and videos of them at the Capitol. She's sending them to the FBI. Oh dear. Alright. That's enough. That's a weird story.
Yeah.
That's fun. Be careful on Bumble. If you've committed a felony, there's a lot can be said to defend some of the people there. But yeah, like if obviously there's something about what some of the people did was illegal. If you've committed a felony and you're talking to people you don't know on a dating app trying to get laid, probably sending them photos admitting to committing a felony is not a smart move.
Yeah,
let's leave it at that. All right. China delivers new threat to Australia over Hong Kong joint statement. Beijing has threatened a counterstrike against international moves to preserve the democracies of Hong Kong and Taiwan, and Australia is on the hit list. Oh, good. Foreign ministers from the United States, Canada, Britain and Australia have condemned the arrest of over 50 opposition parliamentarians and democracy activists in Hong Kong in a joint statement on Sunday. It's nice that we're talking about Hong Kong again. I think everyone knows I'm no fan of China or totalitarian governments, and it was real weird. There was a lot of uprising going on in Hong Kong and China, and then this, the Wu flu has happened, and that all sort of went away. So good on these countries for standing up to China. They are not Chinese people. Chinese government are the scum of the earth, literally worse than Hitler, in my opinion. And so good. The 4 members of the Five Eyes Agreement, New Zealand did not sign the condemnation. Good on you, Jacinda. Have called upon China to respect the freedoms these island people enjoy. It's clear that the national security law being used to eliminate dissent and opposing political views, the Foreign Minister said, it is clear that the national security law is being used to eliminate dissent and opposing political views, the Foreign Minister said in a joint statement issued by the Australian Foreign Minister Maurice Payne. We call on the Hong Kong and Chinese central authorities to respect legally guaranteed rights and freedoms of the people of Hong Kong without fear of arrest or detention. Good, and fuck whatever China's doing. I think we should be like balls and all defending the people of Taiwan and Hong Kong if we stand for anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know, whatever China want to do in retaliation, fuck it. Beijing has responded by declaring it strongly condemns and firmly opposes meddling in its domestic affairs. That's right. Like a lot of moral people in the world strongly condemn and oppose people putting millions of minorities in fucking concentration camps and harvesting their organs, and just generally having your boot on your people's neck. Anyway, this is what happens when you have an all-powerful government and the people don't have guns, they don't have a means to fight back, and they don't have any rights protected in law. This is what you get, and that's why. Anyway, I'll just leave it at that. The people in Hong Kong, I think they showed a lot of balls standing up to the government when they don't really have a lot of effective means of doing so.
Not at all.
Hong Kong is a subject of handover treaty as it transitions from British colonial rule. Chinese people resolve to defend our sovereignty and territorial integrity is unshakable, and we will not permit any person or force to stop the process of China's reunification. Foreign Minister. Alright, so that's so Hong Kong was I think leased by the British. They're giving it back to China.
Taiwan's actually an independent state.
Taiwan's like a breakaway. They've broken away. They're a democracy. China doesn't recognise them. I think we have an obligation to support people. Like Hong Kong's a bit of a tricky one because the British have they've started a process of giving it back to China. Taiwan declared their independence and autonomy, and they are more closely aligned with the values that we supposedly hold. So I think we have some obligation to support them and oppose China infringing on what they want to do. Canberra's willingness to contradict Beijing on the world stage has unleashed a torrent of abuse from rising world power in recent weeks. Many Chinese people feel as if they have swallowed a fly when hearing about Australia, the CCP-controlled Global Times declared last month. Oh, good. Australia treats China's goodwill with evil. Fuck off. Fucking a Chinese, I don't know who he was, but a communist Chinese official a couple of months ago so Trump's been banned from Twitter, right? This Chinese government official on an official government Twitter page, which I don't think fucking people in China are allowed to access Twitter, but the government's they're still on Twitter. Posted a doctored photo of an Australian soldier smiling, slitting the throat of a child, and Twitter never took it down, never banned this individual, and now what are we doing? China's goodwill, we're treating China's goodwill with evil. Very, very good. It's politics. Military and culture should stay away from China. Let's assume the two countries are not on the same planet. Agreed?
Yeah.
The sad thing, like I don't know if a lot of them will admit it, but I think there's millions, if not like probably a billion people in China that don't think very fondly of their own government, and they don't have the means, they don't have the right to speak out against it, they don't have the means to do anything about it, and that's why all powerful governments are always a bad thing, whether it's, you know, like fascism. Fascism in itself doesn't, like it does lend itself to totalitarianism. Communism has to, like totalitarianism is a like cornerstone of communism. You can't sort of have one without the other. Yeah, so both, like, you know, everyone condemns fascism. I don't know why it's still, you know, trendy or acceptable, and everyone, you know, have your own opinions, but I don't know why it's so fucking trendy to defend communism.
Yeah, exactly.
Death counts way higher than fascism's, by the way.
Yeah.
Anyway, like let's leave this here. China. So the leadership of Australia and Britain and the US have grown some balls in standing up to China, and China don't like it. So well, stiff shit. And the state boozing through the pandemic. So let's end off on a light note. Data shows that Western Australia has splurged on alcohol while all Aussies are spending big on furnishings. Gotta love WA.
I'm really surprised. I genuinely thought it would have probably been Queensland. I feel like
I think like you've just been underprepared in life if you didn't have the furnishings in your house you needed until you had the pandemic. And obviously Western Australians were more prepared, and so they've been able to spend their sweet stimulus on what's most important, staying drunk. It does help. According to the latest data, Aussies have been putting millions of dollars through the tills at shops like JB Hi-Fi and Harvey Norman over Christmas. This is very hopeful news for an economic recovery. The fact we're just fucking printing money and giving it out to spur that recovery and just destroy the value of anyone who did have savings or assets. Asset, but anyone who had savings. Congratulations, it's worth a lot less now. But anyway, spending a lot of money on, as this chart shows, we're spending almost 40% more on stuff for our houses. Probably makes sense when you're fucking locked in there. The second fastest growing category is bottle shops. Seems like for a lot of us, summer has meant buying a new 80-inch TV and sitting in it, in front of it, getting slowly slozzed. Remember the recession. We were supposed to be recovering from a recession. 2020 had the deepest recession Australia has seen in many decades. A decadent orgy of consumer spending is not what you'd expect.
Word use there?
Consumer confidence is at its highest level in a decade, and Aussies have been topping up their bank accounts during the last year. We feel rich thanks to the money flowing to the economy from JobSeeker and JobKeeper payments.
Oh, God.
Oh, maybe consumers aren't confident. Everyone's just fucking given up, and so... Yeah, and it's incredible when you just print money and give it out that people are going to spend it. Like, I know that is the idea, but anyway, that's the end of... Oh, no, it's not. So some parts of the economy feel richer than others, of course. The policy's response is national, but of course the virus impact is regional. Some places are whooping it up, getting stimulus, but little downside, like Western Australia. Just check this chart out, which shows how much has been spent in bars and pubs compared to the same week of the previous year. West Australians have basically been partying all year and kicked up the fever pitch in the first weeks of January. Good on you. Queensland just behind.
Glad to know that we're second.
Victoria were
absolutely
were down in the dumps, but they're coming back, getting on the beers.
Yeah.
Shout out Dan Andrews. JB Hi-Fi is turning into Australia's most successful retailer. Sales have doubled in the last 5 years. They took over the Good Guys and moved to selling more fridges and microwaves. Profit were up heavily. Yeah, good. We're here to talk about the booze. JB's Hi-Fi stock price is going well. That's good. Get on the, if you don't have all your money in crypto by now, get in JB Hi-Fi stock. Christmas was saved. The lift in the pandemic is the answer. Aussies feeling confident, spend big over Christmas, and boxing sales are dead now. Are they spending? Were they confident, or was everyone think we're all going to be dead in the next 6 months?
I think it was more of like a fuck it kind of thing.
I don't know. And I don't know, whatever, if you think that, I don't know if you're wrong. It's like, things aren't looking great.
Yeah, like this is more, like, as it reads on, it goes more into just an advertisement for JB Hi-Fi.
So anyway, JB Hi-Fi is doing really well, and Australians, despite the excessive alcohol taxes, that's offset by like the government's printing more money and giving it to us so we can spend it on the alcohol. So everyone can still stay nicely sourced, and that will help with the depression that will kick in if you're watching too much of Channel 9 or ABC, Channel 7, just any of that, like, because it's all just poisonous garbage. Don't go to news.com yourself, because we'll do this segment once every week or so. You can get it from us. It'll be far better that way. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. Go down to the bottle shops. So we want to help them, set some record sales, buy some JB Hi-Fi shares, and stay safe. Don't catch the woo flu, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Thanks for coming, Craig.
Thanks, mate.
See you guys.
Yeah.